Hello everyone, it is Mrs. D'Alessio, and I am here to talk to you about this month's character trait, which is empathy. And empathy is about understanding the feelings of others. And today I would like to read a story about empathy in hopes to help everyone at school understand what it means to be empathetic and to have empathy with others. The book is called Empathy is Your Superpower, a book about understanding the feelings of others. We are all born with superpowers. Emma and Emmanuel's superpower is called empathy, and empathy is an awesome superpower. With a little bit of curiosity, imagination, and kindness, we can all have empathy too. Have you ever seen a friend feel so sad about something that you felt sad too? Then you've already started building your empathy superpower. Empathy means understanding and caring about someone else's feelings and wanting to lend a helping hand. Ask yourself two questions. How would I feel if that happened to me? And what would make me feel better? Empathy is one of the most important superpowers. When you use it, you show kindness to others. You help them feel better because they know someone understands and cares about them. How do you know when someone is being a good friend? Can you remember when you were being a good friend? How do you think your behavior made your friend feel? Emma first learned about empathy one day when she was not feeling well. She was sad, and her mom came to comfort her. Even though her mom wasn't sick, she could imagine how Emma felt. She wanted to take care of her and help her feel better. Can you remember a time when you were feeling sad or sick and someone showed you that they cared about you? What do you do to show someone that you care about them? We all have our own feelings. Sometimes you may feel happy or excited. Other times you could feel sad, scared, or angry. Sometimes you might want to tell other people how you feel. When you have an empathy superpower, other people might want to tell you how they feel too, because they know you will be kind. How can you tell how someone else is feeling? What does your face look like when you have different feelings? You can see a lot of these students have different faces to show different feelings. And sometimes we can tell how someone feels just by the way that they are acting or looking, being sad, being angry. Emma and Emmanuel know that being human is beautiful. We all have feelings, and we are all born with the ability to show others that we understand and care about them. They practice using their empathy superpower every day, just like you can. Let's see how. Emmanuel and his brother were having fun riding their bikes. Suddenly, Joshua fell down. His knee was scraped, and he started crying. Emmanuel saw that Joshua was hurt, and he ran over to Joshua, asked how he could help, and told him that it was going to be okay. How did Emmanuel practice his empathy superpower? What are some things that you could have said to Joshua if you were with him? Emma saw a group of girls making fun of her friend Ming's shoes. Emma could imagine how sad Ming felt. Emma wanted Ming to feel better. She said to her, "Let's each wear one of each other's shoes for the rest of the day." How did Emma practice her empathy superpower? Have you ever seen someone being bullied? How did that make you feel? Emmanuel's class went on a trip to the zoo, and Emmanuel noticed that Darren, who had broken his ankle, was struggling to keep up. So Emmanuel slowed down to walk with Darren. He said, "Let's take our time. Let's look at the animals." How did Emmanuel use his empathy superpower? And how would you feel if you were Darren? Aaliyah is a new girl in school who doesn't speak English. Well, not very well. Aaliyah sat by herself every day during recess. Emma thought Aaliyah might feel lonely, so she asked, "Do you want to play hopscotch with me?" How did Emma use her empathy superpowers? Did you ever help someone who was new to your school neighborhood? What did you do? Emmanuel brought his favorite meal to school for lunch. He saw that Luke had only a bag of chips. Emmanuel imagined that he would still be hungry if that was all he had to eat. So he said to Luke, "I'm not that hungry. Will you share with me?" How did Emmanuel use his empathy superpower? Have you ever shared something? And how did that make you feel? Emma was at the amusement park with her family. She loved to go on all the rides, even the scary ones. Emma's sister, Layla, started crying. She wanted to go on the big kid rides, but she was too young. So Emma said to Layla, "Don't worry, we can go on the smaller rides together. Sometimes those are the best ones." How did Emma use her empathy superpower? Have you ever been left out because you were too young or too small? How did that make you feel? It was a beautiful day, and Emmanuel could hear kids playing outside. "Why don't you go with them and have fun?" his grandpa said. Emmanuel knew his grandpa was not feeling well. He said, "I'd rather stay here with you, Grandpa. I want to hear more stories about when you were my age." How did Emmanuel use his empathy superpower? And what are some ways that you show your friends and family that you care about them? Emmanuel is in Zara's reading group at school. Zara told Emmanuel that she doesn't like to read out loud because she makes mistakes. Emmanuel said, "If you want, you can practice your reading with me. We can make mistakes together." What are some things that you would like someone to say to you when you make mistakes? Emma and her brother Rudy were so excited they were going to the animal shelter to adopt a dog. After meeting the dogs, Emma said she wanted to adopt the big dog with the scruffy hair. And Rudy said, "No way, he's the ugliest dog." Emma asked Rudy to imagine what the dog might be feeling. She said, "He is sweet, and he has been at the shelter the longest. I can tell that he's sad and he needs a good home." Why did Emma want this specific dog? Emma and Emmanuel realized that empathy can be contagious. Emmanuel and Zara helping someone with math. Emma spotted Rudy including someone in a game. Ming was giving a book of tissues to someone who was crying. If you show others that you understand and care about how they feel, they do the same for someone else. You set a good example for everyone when you use your empathy superpower. And that is the end of Empathy is Your Superpower, a book about understanding the feelings of others. And I hope that this book gave you some good examples of how you can show empathy. I'm sure it's probably reminded you of some examples that have already happened to you, and that you were able to connect with some of the ways that the characters in this story show empathy. I hope that for the remainder of October, you continue to really show off how you can be an empathetic friend to all of the students here at East Taunton Elementary School. And I hope that you're able to talk with your teachers and your classmates about the word empathy and who in your classroom might be a wonderful person to select as the student of the month for October. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I can't wait to read more stories throughout the year. Bye, everyone.